Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from Overflow Room. I know, one of you said it's time to change the gong. Maybe I'll go, hang on a minute. You want to join me? I'll tell you what. We can pick out another one. There's one in the other room that I want to bring in. See, this is the regular overflow room where we're having CDs. Remember we did the tour of the upstairs and now we're sort of working on the downstairs? So in the downstairs here, if we go into the other downstairs room, we have scores. Shelves of scores. Yes, over here. And then more over here. There we go, shelves of scores, and I've got a lot more to go. I have to, and box sets. Let's not forget box sets. You can, there's never enough room for those. But I do have sitting here another tam-tam. Oh, actually, there's a few of them there that I'll have to grab. And then if I go into like the furnace area here, which is really the basement, see, we've got these as well. And then boxes. See those boxes down there? Past the furnace? These things over here? There they are. That's it. Those are all full of tam-tams. I have to go and figure out what's in there because I haven't even unpacked them yet from moving. It's a mess. So yes, I will at some point grab a separate tam-tam and we'll give that one a little rock as well. Okay, sorry there. I know that you got to see my uvula or whatever that was down there. Now, back to the business at hand. What are we on? Oh, the S's. Guess what, folks? We've made it to Saint-Saëns. Yay! I love Saint-Saëns. So this is going to be 3 or 4 videos, depending on how much we decide to do in a pile all at once. But I have to begin. I'm going to start with a bang. And that bang is one of the great unspoken for, although connoisseurs know about this, amongst whom we are all connoisseurs, right? We are all cognoscenti. The piano concerto cycle played by Marie Dar, fabulous pianist of the French school who made, this is the great Saint-Saëns piano concerto cycle, certainly in mono, and possibly the best of all of them, and there's been a bazillion of them lately. She was marvelous. And so this is with, let's see, who's doing this? Oh, Louis Forestier is the conductor with the Orchestra Nationale de la Radiodiffusion Française. Marvelous. And you also get the septet, with the trumpet part in it, which is just a delicious piece of music. So yeah, there it is, Marie Dar. If you can get your hands on this, if you like these piano concertos, you got to hear this cycle. It'd be really nice to see like a little box or something devoted to her. I don't know how much stuff she recorded that's available. Then we've got the symphonic poems. Oh, wow. With Pierre Dervaux and the Orchestra de Paris. This was a classic album. The symphonic poems are, well, they're all in Japanese. Let's see if I get them. It's you ready? Danse macabre, La jeunesse d'Hercule, Feuilleton, and Le Rouet d'Omphale. That's the 4. I got them, yes. And they are delicious, absolutely marvelous. Let's see, if I do this and I put this that way, so this has to go so it stands. I've been trying to get these so they will stand up correctly when I put them away, permanently. Then we have this Testament thing. Oh, Émile Guillels doing the Piano Concerto No. 2 with André Cluitens and the Paris Conservatory Orchestra and the Rachmaninoff Third. These are sort of classics. They're in mono. And Shostakovich Preludes and Fugues, 2 of those played with, one of them, number 5, played by Guillels as well. So that's fun and worth hearing. Everything Guillels did is worth hearing. And now we have this, this is a Twofer. Another one of these Ultima things that were on Warner when they were doing Twofers. The Carnival of the Animals with Victoria Postnikova and Jean-François Heiser, all right, with Rozhdestvensky. Jesus, I don't remember that one at all. I have to go listen to that. The Havanaise, the Introduction to Rondo Capriccioso, and the Piano Concerto No. 3 for violin with Pierre Amoyal and Vernon Handley. conducting the new Philharmonia. Then on CD too, the Organ Symphony, the famous one, with Marie-Claire Alain and Jean Martinon, which is very good, and the Danse Macabre, which is also very good, and the second piano concerto with François-René Duchable and Alain Lombard, the Strasbourg Orchestra. That's worth keeping. Previn in Pittsburgh, Carnival of the Animals, and Mother Goose. This was such a pretty record. Oh, it's so lovely. With the Pittsburgh Symphony, and Pittsburgh was such a wonderful orchestra. When Previn was there, he made a few recordings. They were. I mean, this isn't the most exciting thing going. I think the Mother Goose has been done more beautifully and colorfully elsewhere, but and it's an early digital too, which didn't help it, I suppose. But I don't know. It was Previn in Pittsburgh, and I just felt I had to keep it. Then we've got this lovely disc of chamber stuff with Saint-Saëns, Debussy, and Poulenc. Two piano music, pardon me. It's a double piano music with duo de pianos, Biard and Azaïs. Whatever the hell they are, I have no idea. This is universal accord on accord, and we've got the Saint-Saëns variations on a theme of Beethoven, which is a big work, and the Caprice Héroïque and his scherzo. These are all for duo pianists, and then Debussy, the usual stuff, En Blanc et Noir, and then the Linda Raja, and finally the Poulenc Sonata for two pianos, which is a masterpiece. If you don't know it, you better rush out and know it. What's this thing? Apéritif, a French collection featuring flutist Sharon Bezali, aka Mrs. Robert von Bar, which is one of the reasons she got all this stuff recorded. And with the Tapiola Sinfonietta under Jean-Jacques Kantarov. Now, Robert von Bar was the guy who owned and invented BIS Records, and he seemed to have a thing for flutists, right, Robert? You did. I mean, his first wife was Gunilla von Bar, I believe, was also a flute player, and so there you go. Anyway, we have Charles Gounod, the Concertino for Flute and Small Orchestra, De Vienne, Seventh Flute Concerto, Saint-Saëns, Romance in D flat, and Air de Ballet d'Ascanio from his opera, the Adagio and Variation, which is 3 minutes of fluff. The Tarantella in A minor for flute, clarinet, and orchestra. That's delicious. And the Odelette in D major, which is also delicious. And Fauré. So what are we doing here with this? This was flute things. Oh, it's Saint-Saëns. Yeah, there he is. That's all the Saint-Saëns stuff in there. The Fauré Fantasy for flute and chamber orchestra, orchestrated by Yoav Talmy. Okay. It's mostly Saint-Saëns, that's the point, isn't it? And this thing on Analecta, French showpieces with James Ennis, and the Orchestral Symphonique de Quebec under Yoav Talmy, the same. And the Saint-Saëns stuff, you've got the introduction, and Rondo Capriccioso and Havanaise, and you've got Berlioz, the Corsair Overture, and the Reverie and Caprice, the Chausson Poème, the Debussy Tarentelle Styrienne, orchestrated by Ravel, Milhaud's Cinema Fantasy. Oh, that's so much fun. I love that, from Le Boeuf sur le Toit, and the Massenet Meditation from Thais. James Ennis is a great violinist, and those are his early days. Saint-Saëns, what's this? Plassans, the Organ Symphony. Yay. It's an okay performance. It's nothing to write home about. But you get Cyprès et Laurier for organ and orchestra. This large sort of organ and orchestra thing. And then compact disc number 2 contains La Foi, 3 tableaux symphoniques, very late piece. It's a symphony, basically. It's a 30-some-odd minute thing in 3 movements. And there you go. And that has, the organ is only on CD 1, but this is with Plassans. It's one of those Frenchy things he did. It's in the big Plassans box, it's the Frenchy thing box. Then we've got, what's this? Samson and Delilah, Dance of the Priestesses of Dagon and the Bacchanal. Oh, this is Beum. It's a Beum collection of French stuff. Delibes, Le Roi s'amuse, Debussy, The Afternoon of a Faun, L'Enfant Prodigue, Cortège and Air de Danse. The Saint-Saëns stuff, Berlioz's bits from The Damnation of Faust, Massenet, the waltz from Cinderella, and Gounod's Faust ballet music. Classique, Beum, wonderful stuff. We still need a cleaned up big Beum box, desperately, from both Warner and Sony, by the way. Quitins doing Saint-Saëns Third Symphony with Henriette Henriette Roger organ with the Paris Conservatory Orchestra, and the Fauré Requiem. This is the mono one. These are monos. This is the earlier Fauré Requiem with Maurice Duruflé himself playing the organ, and Martha Angelici soprano, and Luis Noguera baritone, with Les Chanteurs de Saint-Eustache. Okay, and the Nameless Orchestra, 1954. Alrighty, this has got to be another organ symphony, and it is. And the Danse Macabre with the Czech Philharmonic. Aleš Barta is the organist, and Kenichiro Kobayashi is the conductor. I got this because these Kenyan classic things were so wonderfully recorded. As it turned out, the performance, well, didn't do it for me. Sorry, but I kept it because it's there. Franz Liszt, Piano Concerto No. 2. Look at this. This is Robert Casadesus. This is part of that Sony Casadesus edition. I broke it up and filed it under the different composers. So the Liszt Second Piano Concerto, the Weber Concertstück, which I just love, and this is a wonderful performance. The Saint-Saëns Piano Concerto No. 4, and the Fauré Ballade. You have the Cleveland Orchestra under Zell, the Liszt and Weber works, and the Saint-Saëns Fauré, or the New York Phil with Leonard Bernstein. Yeah, hot stuff. Wonderful stuff. Let's see. Chandos doing Saint-Saëns Organ Symphony and his Second Symphony with Julian Ware, the Ulster Orchestra, and Jean-Pascal Tortelier. These are decent performances. I got this one because of the Second Symphony, not so much the Organ Symphony. Penguin gave it a 3-star rating. Look at that. And you know, it's really good. It's worth hearing. And it sounds good. And last but not least, also on Chandos, the Suite Algérienne, which I love. Oh my God, is that fun! The Marche Militaire Française is just it's just a poem to imperialism. It's amazingly wonderful. And then we've got La Princesse Jaune, the Yellow Princess, a comic opera in one act. This is a one-act little opera comique. It lasts 43 minutes. It only has 2 characters in it, who are well sung here by Maria Costanza Nocentini and Carlo Alemano, with the Swiss-Italian Orchestra under Francis Travis. But the bottom line is the story is really simple. The soprano, Lena, is in love with her cousin, who is Cornelis, and he is in love with everything Japanese, and including a portrait of a Japanese princess. And so she's all annoyed because he doesn't pay any attention to her, and he's obsessed, and he winds up accidentally ODing on opium and has this hallucination that he's back in Japan. And when he comes to, he realizes that he really loves his cousin and that it was all just a fantasy. Ha ha. Yes, it's very comic. But the music's delicious. It was Saint-Saëns' third opera. And it's extremely charming. And it has a lovely little overture that gets played from time to time. And it's full of little pentatonic orientalisms. And it's charming. And it's a charming performance. So it's nice to have. And there you have it, my friends. The beginning of our survey of the wonderful, amazing, much wider and more interesting world than you ever dreamed of Camille Saint-Saëns. Or some people say it's Saint-Saëns, and I don't pronounce the S, and therefore I'm evil and loathsome and vulgar, and you know, what can I tell you? Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me, and take care.